Hey guys, welcome to day 6 of your 21-day training. Now I'm going to talk about how to build your cold market on Instagram, Facebook, and in person. So if you don't already bleh, bleh, bleh. If you don't already know, your cold market is people that you don't know. So it's people that you haven't interacted with before, as opposed to your warm market, which are people like your friends, family, maybe people that you went to school with, things like that. So the first thing I want to talk about is how to build your cold market on Instagram. So what my favorite thing to do is to look at hashtags. So Instagram has a really cool feature now where you can follow hashtags. That means that certain posts that use that hashtag will pop up on your newsfeed. So for example, I follow the hashtag USMC wife because I am a Marine Corps wife. So I follow that hashtag, and when that hashtag pops up on my newsfeed, I look at the post and see if it's somebody that I might want to connect with. So I'm going to go to their profile. I'm going to look and see, are they already a coach? Are they already involved in another company? And if they are, that's okay. Maybe I can still give them a follow and see if they would be interested in joining my group someday. And I'm going to see how frequently they're posting on social media, especially if I'm thinking about inviting them to the coach opportunity. You kind of want to get a feel for what they're already doing on Instagram. So then what I'll do is I'll follow something called the 311 method. So I will go to their page and then I will scroll their feed after looking at it, of course, and making sure they're not already a coach and things like that. I'll scroll their feed and I'll like my 3 favorite pictures. Now, this isn't just their first 3 photos, but I picked my 3 favorite ones, the ones that stand out to me the most. I'll like 3 of those pictures, and then I'll comment on one of them, and then I'll give them a follow. So then typically what they'll do is that'll pop up on their feed that I liked their pictures, commented on them, and followed them, and then they'll go back to my profile. Sometimes people will follow you back, sometimes they won't, but if they do follow you back, then I like to reach out to them with a message and just say, hey, thanks so much for following me back. I really liked your Instagram because of whatever attracted you to their page, whether they're a dog mom, that you have similar interests, something like that. And then that can really start the conversation and your relationship there. And then from there, what I like to do is I like to flag their message so I know that it's somebody that I'm trying to build a relationship with when I see their name pop up in my newsfeed. And then when you do go to invite them, say, a couple days later, a week later, then you already have a relationship and a conversation started with them. So it's not just a random person that you're reaching out to. Now, building relationships on Facebook and building your cold market from your cold market on Facebook can be a little bit trickier because you typically have to add people as a friend for them to pop up in your newsfeed. So a really good way to do this is to join groups that you have interest in. So for example, I'm a part of a military spouse group for people in my area. And so when I moved to the state that I live in and the city that I live in, I searched on Facebook for military wives in my town and found the group and joined it. From there, it's good to comment back to people's posts. Maybe they're asking a question about, what's a good local park, or, where's a great restaurant to eat at. I'll comment on their post and then I'll send them a friend request. And then from there, we can get a conversation going about whatever they posted about. So I could just send them a message and say, hey, I saw you asked about some good restaurant tips or places to eat. These are a couple places that my husband and I have gone that we really, really like. It can literally be about anything as long as you can just start the conversation with them. And then from there, you can send them an invite, and it's kind of like somebody that you already know because you're building that relationship with them. The last way to build your cold market is in person. And the way to do this is to try to go to events in your community. So, for example, in my community, we have a dog park. I love taking my dog, and I can also meet other people who also have dogs, so we have that shared interest. Another thing that I like to do is I like to find events on Facebook. So a lot of times, your city or your town will post different events in the community. You can go to things like that and try to connect with people there. And also a lot of apartment complexes, if you live in an apartment complex, have events too where you can get to know people as well. And if a lot of times if you're attending the same event, then you do have, some shared interest, and it could be a great way to get to know people around you. And then when I do meet people and get to talking to them, say if I'm at the dog park, then I can say, hey, why don't you follow me on Instagram and I'll follow you back. And that way it can just be like a friendly thing, but they can get to know what you're into and see a little piece of your business on your social media.